ChatGPT, AI machines,
satellite, engine ignition,
click here,
and liftoff.
From Recorded Future News and PRX, this is Click Here's Mic Drop, a longer listen to one of our favorite interviews of the week. I'm Dina Temple-Raston. We all know weather forecasts are fallible. Your phone promises sunshine, and then you get rain. So what if computers could actually beat even the best meteorologists? That's the promise of AI weather forecasting, and it comes with all the usual hype. Paris Perdikaris is an associate professor at the University of Pennsylvania, and Microsoft tapped him to build a better forecast using AI. When I asked him what people get wrong about that, he went straight to the Hollywood metaphor.
The general fear that those systems are kind of going to be like a Terminator movie and kind of replace humans and so forth. At least in the field of Earth system science and weather forecasting, they're just going to enhance our ability to better predict the Earth system rather than replacing a human expert.
Great. So you don't actually see a Terminator movie, in the future?
No, not when it comes to Earth system prediction and weather forecasting.
Okay. So no killer robots, just better predictions. But better doesn't mean perfect. Paris says he sees a day when those tools could put a kind of digital meteorologist in every home. People can run their own forecasts right on their laptops.
We want to make those tools accessible to everyone around the world that can operate them on their own personal computers.
That sounds democratizing, but it also raises questions. Like, what happens when the models are wrong? Who's accountable? Stay with us.
Come with me if you want to live.
Support for Click Here comes from Clean My Mac. If you're like me, your cloud drives are packed with files you don't actually need. Sync duplicates, old backups, random junk just gobbling up storage. Clean My Mac takes care of that with a new cloud cleanup feature. It connects to your accounts on iCloud, OneDrive, and Google Drive and scans to find large space wasters, both in cloud storage and on your device. And while my Mac health is apparently excellent, Clean My Mac found 8 gigabytes of junk on my computer and tons of duplicate downloads, and it removed a bunch of leftover applications I never use. Who knew? And this happens locally on my Mac, so my data stays safe. Clean My Mac has a whole suite of other features, too, including their Moonlight anti-malware engine. With just a click, the anti-malware tool scans and removes viruses, ensuring your Mac remains threat-free. Not everything deserves eternal storage, so why pay for it? Get tidy today with Clean My Mac. Try it free for 7 days and use the promo code CLICK to save an additional 20% on your purchase at cleanmymac.com. I'm Dina Temple-Raston, and this is Click Here's Mic Drop. Paris Perdikaris has spent the past decade figuring out how AI interprets the physical world. Hurricanes, ocean currents, weather systems.
My background over the last 10 years, I've done a lot of work on AI and deep learning applied specifically to physical systems.
So it made sense that Microsoft would come calling as they were trying to figure out if AI could handle one of the biggest data problems we have, weather. Weather, it turns out, produces a ton of data.
So starting from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, we have been collecting around the clock from satellites, from weather stations, air balloons, aircrafts, ships in the oceans, or buoys.
So it's an information goldmine. Decades of public data gathered by agencies like NOAA or its European equivalent, the ECMFW. Big tech's breakthroughs depend on their treasure chest of data. So Paris built Aurora, an AI system that learns from all that weather data.
The way a sailor predicts the weather is experience-based, right? So they're looking back to their prior experience. They've been in the situation many times. They kind of feel the wind and see the clouds, and from that information, they can make a prediction of what's about to happen.
Aurora doesn't understand the atmosphere. It just sees it in terms of patterns. And so far,
We have seen that on average, it outperforms all existing operational forecasts for hurricane tracking and can generate tracks, can predict accurately tracks maybe 4 to 5 days before those have an impact on land.
Now that sounds impressive, but there's a caveat. It appears to do well with these broad predictions like hurricanes, but critics say that broad accuracy is one thing, and being able to spot the conditions that lead to, say, flash floods and microbursts is another. And those are the storms that seem to show up more often these days, so they've started to matter more. Microsoft isn't the only big tech player trying to use AI to predict weather. Google's been developing AI weather tools, and Huawei in China, it has too. They all feed on the same public data. Paris also added a few other data points to his model.
We try to go a step beyond that and use a lot more diverse data, include also data from the oceans, air chemistry and air pollution, to build a more general model that goes beyond weather forecasting.
He added things like fossil fuel emissions, ocean chemistry, air pollution.
For instance, concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere or concentration of nitrogen dioxide.
Feed the model millions of examples, and slowly it begins to connect the dots.
It's a little bit like your brain when you're learning. So the first phase you can think of as a general education phase, where the model is going to see through all these decades of historical data, and now we're talking about millions of hours of, Earth evolution data, everything from temperatures and wind patterns and ocean currents.
It's like giving an AI system a liberal arts education in Earth systems. Then you send it to graduate school to learn about hurricanes, air quality, and ocean waves.
For instance, high-resolution weather forecasting, or air quality prediction, or ocean wave prediction, or hurricane tracking, or any other interesting prediction task that we might be interested in order to understand and monitor the Earth system.
But forecasts don't live in a vacuum. They depend on humans and politics. That's when we come back. Stay with us. Support for Click Here comes from Claude AI. Claude is the AI for minds that don't stop at good enough. It's the collaborator that actually understands your entire workflow and thinks with you, not for you. Whether you're debugging code at midnight or strategizing for your next business move, Claude extends your thinking to tackle the problems that matter. Who needs a regular search when you can have a conversation with Claude about what you're looking for? And, unlike some of the other AI helpers I've used, Claude doesn't retain information from previous conversations, so it's private. Ready to tackle bigger problems? Sign up for Claude today and get 50% off Claude Pro when you use my link, claude.ai/clickhere. That's claude.ai/clickhere right now for 50% off your first 3 months of Claude Pro. And that includes access to all the features mentioned in today's episode. claude.ai/clickhere. Support for Click Here comes from ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN stops hackers from stealing your data by creating a secure, encrypted tunnel between your device and the internet. It would take a hacker with a supercomputer over 1 billion years to get past ExpressVPN's encryption. ExpressVPN is rated #1 by top tech reviews like CNET and The Verge. I take my internet security seriously, and I know that ExpressVPN does too. It's easy to use and works on all your devices. You just fire up the app and you're protected. Secure your online data today by visiting expressvpn.com/clickhere. That's expressvpn.com/clickhere to find out how you can get up to 4 extra months free. expressvpn.com/clickhere.
In cybersecurity, your greatest fear isn't the threats you see, it's the critical signals lost in the noise. Every day, security teams sort through millions of potential threats. That's why Recorded Future exists, to give you precision intelligence tuned to your needs. Our advanced AI detects patterns humans might miss, while our threat intelligence experts, veterans of military and intelligence services, provide crucial context. With Recorded Future, you gain the confidence to identify critical threats and the precision to act before they become attacks. Learn why 1,900-plus customers, including 45-plus sovereign governments, trust us to detect threats faster and achieve 350% plus ROI within a year.
Traditional weather prediction takes labor, balloons, equations, supercomputers. What AI can do is shortcut the math.
AI models excel by learning patterns in actual data rather than trying to solve complicated systems of mathematical or physics equations like the traditional tools are doing.
That makes them faster and cheaper, and sometimes more accurate.
So tools like Aurora generate everyday forecasts, basically, from 6 hours ahead, maybe up to 10 days ahead.
But here's the catch. Garbage in, garbage out.
If I give my model the wrong inputs and then it tells me that it's going to snow in Greece in August, then obviously that is an erroneous prediction that I should filter out.
And that's where humans come in.
There's an additional element here and layer, which is the human expertise of a human meteorologist. So the way official forecasts are issued is through a human that has a specific expertise for the region. That human has synthesized many different forecasts from Aurora and other models, and based on their expertise are issuing the official forecast.
So AI isn't replacing meteorologists, at least not yet. But what if the data itself begins to disappear?
Hundreds of employees at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration have been fired, and more layoffs in the agency could be coming today.
In the early days of the second Trump administration, some 1,300 members of NOAA either resigned or were laid off, and the agency still faces more cuts. And, as we reported on Tuesday, Project 2025, the administration's legislative playbook, calls for NOAA to be disbanded and privatized. And that could mean fewer weather balloons, fewer satellites, less data. Since so much of AI is, good information, good data, producing good results, if you have, say, half the number of balloon launches or half the number of satellites actually looking at the weather, is that going to inevitably affect the ability for Aurora to be accurate?
Absolutely, yes. Likely if those changes impact the quality of the data we have access to and the quality at which we are able to monitor the Earth system, that's going to have a direct impact on the AI models, which are only as good as the data that they've seen.
When Paris heard about the NOAA cuts, he says he immediately worried for Aurora.
Yeah, absolutely. The funding cuts at NOAA shook up the community, and definitely for us that develop AI models, we are relying on NOAA, we're relying on their expertise, their data. So, of course, it's a blow, and, if it continues in this direction, it is going to slow down progress.
The first version of Aurora was trained before the cuts. It runs fine, at least for now. But in a few years, it'll need new data. And with the climate shifting faster than ever, less or outdated data is the last thing forecasting needs. Though Paris, for his part, remains optimistic.
We're at the beginning, and in fact, we have only scratched the surface when it comes to the data that is available out there for building those AI systems.
Optimistic, there's still plenty of untapped data. But the real test of AI won't be the sunny day it gets right. It'll be the storm it never saw coming. From Recorded Future News, this has been Click Here's Mic Drop. It was written and produced by Megan Dietrich, Sean Powers, Erica Gaida, Zach Hirsch, Lucas Riley, and me, Dina Temple-Raston. It was edited by Karen Duffin. We'll be back on Tuesday with an all-new episode of Click Here. Have a great weekend.
If you're looking for a daily guide to cybersecurity news and policy, sign up for the Cyber Daily from Recorded Future News. It serves up the day's most interesting and important cyber stories from our sister publication, The Record, and then aggregates all of the big cyber stories you might have missed from news outlets around the world. Just go to therecord.media and click on Cyber Daily to get all you need to know about the world of cybersecurity right in your inbox.